Well, I reviewed Armada Jetfire and, well, I'm still up. It's still late, so I'm still probably going to screw this one up like I did the last one. This is Moroni Prime with another video review. This is of 2002's Transformers Armada Series Hot Shot. He is a yellow car with black and gray accents. A little bit of red detailing here and there on like the mini con pegs and the hubcaps. As well as the windshield is a kind of a sparkle blue. I don't know what sort of paint color they would call that necessarily, but it does have little speckles in it. It's kind of annoying. But I guess it's not too bad. I tend to notice little things like that. It just bugs me. But that's just me. So, with the transformation, Hot Shot is actually one of the more simplistic figures in the line. The doors, you grip from the bottom, they will open up. It is the bottom half of the door, kind of like a Dutch door. I don't know if you're very familiar with those, the top half and bottom half. The doors swing open and toward the front of the car. The front bumper pulls out to the side. It splits in half. And the entire front of the car pulls downward, unpegging from the windshield and the upper section of the car. You then split the front half in half, rotating them 90 degrees. You now have Hot Shot's legs. You come back to the rear of the car and you have the spoiler. In the center of that, flips down, I'm sorry, getting ahead of myself here, flips down onto the roof of the vehicle. You can then separate the entire upper section of the car in half and rotate each of the now arms 180 degrees, revealing the hands' fists. You can then place the arms back down to the sides and raise the little blast shield, revealing one of the most ugly little critters you've ever seen. I mean, seriously. If I was a little 5-year-old kid and I saw this face looking at me, I'd be afraid it was going to eat me. I mean, really, this is not a well-designed face at all. The repaint of this figure in the later line Power Links Hot Shot, which was a homage to Hot Rod from Generation 1, did have a remolded face that was less goofy looking. I do not have that figure, so I can't really make a comparison, but just take note. This one's goofy looking. Articulation, he's got ball joints in the hips and ball joints in the knees, so he can go every which way on the legs. The arms are rather stationary. The shoulders pivot here. He has elbow joints and then technically a second elbow, which is the rotational joint used in the transformation of the vehicle. I wouldn't recommend that because that kind of splits your upper arm. So I really wouldn't necessarily even count that as a point of articulation concerning the robot mode at any rate. He does have a feature or three that are unlockable. One of which is this is his Minicon Jolt. Attaches to his butt. I'm sorry, there's no nice way to put it. He is a red Minicon butt thingy. So you push it in his. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to laugh here. Push it in his butt, and the rear axle flips up, thus causing the cannon. I'm doing this so I don't lose my missile across the room. It actually releases much faster than this. But the force of the upward motion would actually release this secondary latch to pivot the axle around and then automatically fire the missile out, which is the hubcap of the one wheel. Placing that back in so that I don't lose it across the room, again, we remove the Minicon. Going a little bit more into the Minicon side of things here. This is, as I said before, Jolt. He's a little red helicopter. His transformation is pretty simple. The front half of the helicopter flips and rotates down, becoming the legs. This does split apart, so he has individually articulate legs. The rear of the copter swings down 180 degrees, as do the arms onto the sides. That's it. Some folks say he's a homage to Powerglide. Others say he's a homage to Pterosaur. I can see the Powerglide and see how that would make sense. Not quite sure on the Pterosaur thing, though. But overall, Armada and some of the subsequent series following were just chock full of homages, to the point where it was almost like Transformers' greatest hits. Don't get me wrong, I love the classic series and all, but you know, I think they tend to overdo it now and again. Then his other accessory is his engine, which is also supposed to be his gun. He himself cannot hold it. The pegs on the bottom of these are not the 5mm pegs. I mean, you could try to stick it in the hole there in his fist, but you know, it's eventually going to shake loose and fall right out. It's kind of weird, though. It does click onto his chest, though. I see this typically when the Minicon is on his back, when he's utilizing the cannon, as well as the face blast shield, which is here over the head. This gun also can attach to the bottom of Jolt. Put him back in his copter mode here. There are 2 pegs just on the sides of the Minicon port there. They fit these smaller holes on top of the engine block. Lock right on. This is probably the most heavily armed Minicon in the series. Not bad. And lastly, we will show you Hot Shot's little attack mode. Converting him back into vehicle mode. I'm going to do this kind of quickly in the interest of time. Hold that panel back, legs together, feet in, lock the hood in, and close the doors. Okay, car mode. His little special attack mode is as follows. The 2 smaller pegs, peg those into the smaller holes. Do not depress the large holes just yet. Leave it up at kind of an upward angle toward the front. You'll understand what I mean when you have the figure in hand yourself. And then on the Minicon port here, click that onto the back. You then take the back half of the helicopter, the robot arms, and the propeller, angle them backwards toward the rear. And then you press the engine block down all the way, revealing the feet again. But in this mode, they're referred to as like grinders or little saws due to the detailing on the sides. I guess it's meant to be like a helicopter propelled cutting attack car thing. Anyway, Hasbro thought it looked threatening to 5-year-olds, so they incorporated it. Just like half the other attack modes in children's toys. Looks kind of silly to me, but you know, it wasn't necessarily geared for my target demographic. Overall, I give this figure maybe a 4 out of 10. The articulation could have been much better. The prototype for this figure actually had a quite radically different design in a lot of its transformation and detailing, most of which was lost by the time this release came around. This is actually fairly stripped down compared to that. You can see more information on that on the TF Wiki. What makes up for it, though, would be his Minicon Jolt. Jolt is one of the better Minicons released in the line. Yeah. I do recommend this figure if you're looking for a display piece or you just like the yellow kid-friendly character, which is in every version. This has been Moroni Prime, once again, wasting your time.